What's up there, YouTube? It's your boy Double J here, back with another video. I'm gonna jump right into it, man. I just want to thank God for growth and patience, because last night I was really tested last night, and I just want to thank God for growth and patience. Because boy, I mean, I could have ended everything that I worked hard for. Could have been gone last night. I was in Florida, heading out of Florida, and I stopped at the TA in Jacksonville, South TA, number 248. Before I got there, I know, in Florida, there's limited parking anywhere. You go in Florida around 5 o'clock, and I was going to be there at 8 o'clock. So I was like, man, let me go ahead and see if they got any reserve parking available. And I go ahead and reserve it online. That way when I get there, I can just, get into me a park. I don't have to look around for a park or anything like that. I worry about finding a park. They had 16 slots still available. Cool. I reserved one of the spots. When I got there at 8 o'clock, there's a park by the shop. I don't know if anybody ever been there, but there's a park by the shop. Very first slot, reserve park by the slot. It had a reserve sign in front of it, but nobody was there, of course. So I positioned myself, turned around, positioned myself, moved the sign, got my truck, moved the sign, got back in my truck, and proceeded to back up into the slot. A driver, I didn't even see him behind me, he was in the shop. He came and moved the sign and put it back before I started backing up. And while I was backing up, I couldn't even see the sign. And he knocked on my door and said, hey man, that reserve sign is there. I said, why did you put the reserve sign back there? He said, man, that's my spot. I just moved to come into the shop to get some, get a lube job done. I said, okay, I said, well, there's plenty other reserve parks around here, man. We don't have assigned reserve parks around here. So at that time, I started to get heated. So what I did, he said, the security guard is only going to do is make you move. Why did he say that to me? I'm like, I paid for a park online. Any reserve park that's out here, I can get into if it's open, because I paid already. So I get out my truck and I go move the sign and proceed, and I backed into the spot, parked, went into the sleeping berth, and I went in the store and got my confirmation receipt. Gave my confirmation code, got my receipt, stuck it on my window. Well, before I got back to my truck, I was walking back out the store, and the security guard, I don't know if he's a security guard or what the guy was, but he stopped me in the store and said, hey, did you just park right there? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, that guy was there all day, man. He just in the shop, getting a lube job done. He had a reserve sign sitting in front of that. I said, that don't mean anything to us. All that telling us that the spot is open if there's nobody's there. I said, if he has a reserve spot, if he paid for a reserve spot, then he can get any other reserve spot in here. He just wanted to park closer to the store. So he said, man, you basically said, F him by moving his exact words. He said, you basically said, I'm gonna say F. He said, you basically said F him by moving the sign and just parking there once he told you that he was there. I said, no, I didn't. I didn't say F him or anything like that. I said, there's other reserve parks out here. If you want to, if he already paid, he should have no problem finding a reserve park. But I moved. I went out and I said, you know what, I'll move. I moved, I got back out of the truck, moved, went around to the back row, saw a reserve park there. Position myself, excuse me. Hold on one second. Position myself back into the spot, went back into the store and grabbed me something to drink, because I like to have, just I wake up in the middle of the night, I have something to drink in my refrigerator. I didn't have anything to drink, so I went back in the store, got 2 drinks, and came back out, walked into my truck. When I got on the back row, he's the security guard in the white Crown Vic, same guy that approached me in the store, is parked in front of my truck again. I'm like, what the hell does he want now? I'm like, I'm not moving. I'm saying this to myself, I'm not moving my truck no more. So I got to my truck. He said, "This you again, man?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was smiling when he was saying it. He's like, "This you again, man?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, come on, man." He's like, "Man, that's somebody's spot." I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" I said, "There's nobody there." He said, "Man, if there's a sign in front, that means that's somebody's spot." I said, "Man, where did you get your information from?" I said, "Oh, you knew?" And he was like, "No, man, but that's somebody's spot." And right there, and like, I just got pissed off. And I'm like, "Yo, I'm not moving my truck no more, man." I said, "Man, I'm almost out of time. I mean, you messed up my clock, my reset time. I'm not getting in my truck, moving my truck no more." And I started walking to my truck and stuck the key into the door. He yells out, "Man, you a hoe ass nigga for that." It took everything in me. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you what I did. When he said that, I turned back around and asked him, "What did you say?" He said, "You heard me. You a hoe ass nigga for that, man. This is somebody's spot." I got in my truck. I went to the back. I'm not gonna say what I did. And I came back to the front. And it took everything in me. He's still out there shouting and doing whatever, but I can't hear him because there's a truck parked next to me running. And I can't hear what he's saying. But I can hear it. I can see, one mouth movement. I can see that he's cursing and doing all that. He's mad at me for paying for a park and parking in an empty spot on reserve spot. It took everything in me to not get up back out that truck and confront him with what I went to the back to do. Because I had to think about, I'm 2 weeks away from paying my truck off. March 11th, my truck will be paid off. After all this hard work I've done, that one moment would have ruined everything. On top of me paying off my truck this year, in 2 weeks, my wife retires in October of this year after 20 years in the Army. She retires this year. That would have messed everything up, because if I would have got back out there, confronted this guy, and he made any move towards me, or matter of fact, by me getting out the truck, I'm going back to the situation. And with what I went to the back to do, I couldn't claim standing my ground or anything like that. I couldn't do that. Because I got back out of my truck and went back to confront him and argue with him. It took everything in me, y'all. Like God was with him. God was with him, because I was, Lord have mercy, I was 38 hot. So I just sat there in my driver's seat. I said, "You know what? I'm a boss. I'm gonna talk to your boss. I don't need to talk to you. I'm gonna talk to your boss." I go out, I call in the store and ask to speak to a manager. There's no manager on duty. Cool. I call customer service and got on the phone with customer service. The lady told the lady what happened and everything. She said, "Let me hold on, let me see if there's a manager in the store." I said, "There's no manager on duty." She said, "Let me call in there and see what they tell me, and I'll be right back with you." She called into the store, put me on hold, called into the store. She came back and said that there's no manager on duty, and they tried to call the manager on three-way for me to contact her and just explain the situation to her, but there was no luck with that. So we got somebody from the fuel desk. We're going to get somebody from the fuel desk to come out and talk to him, to calm him down. I'm like, calm him down? Mind you, this whole time while I'm on the phone with her and I'm telling her this, he's out now, he's walking the parking lot. And every time he walks in front of my truck, he's staring me up and down. Lord, y'all just don't understand, man. Like I'm before trucking, I had another life. You know, I'm from that. I'm with that. Whatever he was with, I'm with that. Times 100. So it just took everything in me, y'all, not to get out of my truck when he was looking me up and down, like, what you looking at? Like what you want to do? Okay, I see you. What you want to do? Like, type thing. Because, like I said, I got so much on the line, man. Like, we're in the process of, you know, selling our home and fixing up our home, selling it in South Carolina, and on the process of buying another home. I'm in the process of paying off my truck in 2 weeks. My wife is in the process of retiring in October of this year. Like, my son graduates this year. Like, all of that I would have thrown away and messed that up for everybody if I would have got back out my truck and confronted that guy again. And I just want to say, man, y'all, we gotta, as we're driving also, you know, we get cut off. We get cut off by other truck drivers, four-wheelers, you name it. Everything happened, get in front of us, hard-break us, everything. Talk crap over the CB, you know. But as truck drivers, as professional truck drivers, we have to be patient and we have to have self-control. For one, especially when we're driving, because we're driving a dangerous weapon, not a vehicle, but a weapon. Because anything you hit is gone. Anything, especially a four-wheeler. You get into what you call it, road rage with a big truck, and y'all end up wrecking. You're done. Both of y'all are going to lose your job. Both of y'all are going to lose your job because you out there road raging in a professional truck. And hopefully you don't get arrested. So I just